Hello, my dear friends, back with one more chapter, and it's agriculture, the chapter 4 in geography. So, in this chapter, we're going to learn about agriculture, agriculture, types of agricultures, and types of crops grown, and difference between the crops grown in India and USA. Also about agricultural development. And so basically, what is agriculture? Before agriculture, we have different activities like primary activity, secondary activity, tertiary activities. I'm giving a simple example. Now, let me take, for example, making of this shirt. Of course, the raw material is somewhat a synthetic cloth, nylon, right? Raw material is nylon. Okay, so that comes under primary activity. In primary activity, what happens is we gather the raw materials. Example is fishing, okay, agriculture. These all are primary activities. But in secondary activities, processing, converting the raw material into finished product is the main objective. Okay, and in the third one is tertiary activity. It means rendering service. You give service. It also provides support to all the other sectors. Okay, this is about three sectors, three economical sectors which we have in our Indian finance, like in our Indian economical system. Now, agriculture, of course, it's a primary activity because many people practices. Nearly 50% of persons are engaged in the agriculture activity in the world. Okay, and two-thirds of India's population is still dependent on agriculture. Now, there are various factors which play a vital role for agriculture activity. Of course, favorable topography, land, soil, climate. There are many things, right? And the land on which the crops are grown is known as arable land. Very important thing. Now you'll get what is an arable land. Remember, the land which is suitable for the growth of crops is arable land. Simple, clean, you can understand. Now, when we talk about culture, do you know agriculture means, of course, we know farming. Okay, we rear the livestock or we raise the crops. This art, okay, this way of cultivation on the soil or rearing the animals is known as farming. Sericulture means rearing of silkworms. We've learned in our before classes. Pisciculture means breeding of fish. Viticulture means cultivation of grapes, and horticulture means growing vegetables, flowers, and fruits for commercial use. The farm system, we have inputs, processes, and outputs. In any thing which we do, there's something like this: inputs, processes, and outputs. But in agriculture, we have machinery, seeds, chemicals as our inputs. We add them into the soil. We make use of them for sowing of seeds. Of course, these all play a very important role in sowing of seeds and adding fertilizers to it. Right now, after adding that, we do processes like plowing, sowing, spraying. Okay, even many processes are there. It's not that only one or two processes. Even harvesting. After doing harvesting, after we get the crops, that's the output, right? Now, human outputs are storage. Of course, we need a storage where this can be stored. Labor, of course, we need a lot of labor so that we can finish the crops in the right time. Machinery is, of course, required. It's output. It's an input. Sorry, human inputs. Machinery is also required, and chemicals are also required. These, if we add these, like if we pre-planned with these four, we can do. Go on with We can go on with the processes. Then we can get a nice output. Now, types of farming, we have subsistence farming and commercial farming. In subsistence farming, it's simple. Now, if you want to, it's something a farming which is done to meet the needs of the farmer's family. Okay, a lot of laborers are involved, and low level of technology is used, and that's all. Lot of laborers are involved, household laborers, and low levels of technologies is used. Now, there are two types of subsistence farming: intensive subsistence and primitive subsistence. In intensive, the farmer cultivates a small plot of land using simple tools and more labor, right? Now, in this intensive subsistence farming, also climate. Now, climate with large number of days with sunshine and fertile soils permit growing of more than one crop annually on the same plot. Climate also plays its important role in this, of course, and rice is the main crop in this intensive subsistence farming. Also, other crops like wheat, maize are also grown in this. Now, it is mostly done in thickly populated areas like Asia, South, Southeast, and East Asia. Okay, the areas where mostly like this is done to meet the demands of the family again. Okay, it's part of intensive subsistence farming. Now, primitive subsistence agriculture farming is further classified into shifting cultivation and nomadic herding. Now, shifting cultivation is simple. It is, practiced in thickly forested areas of Amazon basin and many other areas, of course. Now, what exactly happens in this cultivation is that, like we burn the crops. Like what exactly we do is after we get the harvest, right? A plot of land is cleared by felling the trees and burning them. Okay, we fall those. We make the trees to fell by cutting it or doing something, then burn it and mix the ashes with the soil, and further the soil will turn into a fertile soil. That's the reason shifting cultivation is known as slash and burn agriculture. Now, when we talk about nomadic herding is exactly practiced in the semi-arid and arid regions of Sahara, Central Asia, and some parts of India. Now, it's about uh, what do you say that? It's something about related with raising the animals. Okay, going on with animal husbandry, raising the livestock. It's all about animals again. It's not that much related. Otherwise, they grow plants. Okay, they grow plants which could be helpful as a fodder for the animals. And in commercial farming, again, we have three types: mixed farming, commercial grain farming, and plantations. In commercial grain farming, now crops which are commercially valuable like wheat and maize are grown. Simple thing. They are grown in temperate grasslands which are mostly located in North America, Europe, and Asia. In mixed farming, different plants are grown, okay, for to be used as a food and fodder crops and rearing livestock. Now again, plantations, the we grow a particular plant like a single crop of tea. Okay, and of course large number of capital labor is required when we are going with such plantations like tea, coffee, sugarcane, and all, right? Yeah. And the produce may be processed in the farm itself or in nearby factories, and this is mostly done in the tropical regions, and rubber in Malaysia, coffee in Brazil, of course tea in India and Sri Lanka. Now, when we talk about major crops, rice is the major food crop. Of course, it is grown in tropical and subtropical regions. Even India is a nice producer of it. But China leads the production table of rice, followed by India, Japan, Sri Lanka, and also in West Bengal and Bangladesh. Okay, in favorable climatic conditions, as in West Bengal and Bangladesh, 2 to 3 crops are grown in a year. Okay, very important point you may get in form as objective. And next is of course wheat. Now in rice, it required high temperature, but in wheat, moderate temperature. That's the reason it's grown in winter, right? Okay, and rainfall during growing season and bright sunshine at the time of harvest. Like it requires some all kinds of climate, but mostly a moderate temperature. Okay, not too cool, not too hot. It thrives best in well drained loamy soil. Okay, rice in alluvial clay soil and wheat in well drained loamy soil. And millets are also known as coarse grains. Very important point. And they need high to moderate temperature and adequate rainfall. Jowar, bajra, and ragi are grown in India. These are also these are like millets. These are example of millets. Other countries are Nigeria, China, and Niger. Maize is also known as corn. Okay, corn. Now, maize requires moderate temperature and rainfall and lots of sunshine. It needs well-drained fertile soils. Okay, well-drained fertile soils. And cotton, high temperature, light rainfall, like like mostly it needs 210 frost-free days, and it should be with bright sunshine so that it will grow. And cotton is mostly grown in areas like China, USA, Pakistan, India, Brazil, and Egypt. And it is one of the main raw materials for the cotton textile industry. Of course, it's common that it's a raw material for cotton textile industries. And jute is also another fiber. Gold, it is known as golden fiber. It requires high temperature comparatively to cotton. Okay, India and Bangladesh are leading producers of jute. Coffee is a beverage crop and it requires warm and wet climate and well-drained loamy soil. So these are few conditions which coffee will support. And also it is mostly grown in hilly areas like beverage crops you see in India and West Bengal region, Assam region. These beverage crops are grown, and leading producers of coffee are Colombia and India, right? And tea is a beverage crop grown on plantations, so it is also one part of plantation like coffee. And of course leading producers India, Sri Lanka, China, Kenya, but it requires high rainfall throughout the year, right? And it needs well drained loamy soil. See, I'm telling you now, when you're learning about crops, a small suggestion: remember in which soil it is growing, adjust a temperature like high to moderate or less rainfall. Remember that. Remember which crop is it, a fiber crop or a food crop or a beverage crop, and at least remember one or two major producers of it. That's all when you've asked a subjective question. Now in agriculture development, now for example, of course population is growing everywhere, and in India it's growing in a high manner. In no time will be the number one pop like will be more in terms of population. So we'll be in the first position, I guess, after a few years. Now, what we have to adapt is we have to develop our agriculture practices so that we could meet to the production of the ever-growing population. Now, it doesn't mean that you will continue the same scale of production of agriculture. Now, for example, you did this kind of agriculture development when it was 1 crore population in India. Now it is to 1.5. You have to do agriculture development, which is it should be equal to that. It should meet the demands of all 1.5, not only 1 crore members. Right. That is agriculture development. Just for you more understanding. And a farm in India and a farm in US. Simple thing, guys. No, in India we farmers have less land, like 1.5 hectares most, or like normal people they may have 5 to 6 acres, and more middle class people 1.5 hectares, rich people we don't know, yeah, at some sort of 1.5 hectares we have the some sort of like lands like that in India. And we have cooperative societies which are very helpful for us. We also practice traditional methods. We don't go with machines, right? And government also helps us. In US, government helps, even cooperative societies, these are there. The only thing is that the land size in US is more 250 hectares, 1.5 hectares. Compare and understand. And crops grown, of course, crops might be similar, but India grows more kind of crops because it is exposed to different climatic conditions. And USA, when we talk about USA, of course, now it uses modern technology, it moves on with that technology. We go with that traditional technology, most of us. So there are a lot of changes when we talk about agriculture practices in foreign, or more precisely USA, according to this chapter, and a farm in India, right? So this is about the chapter, guys. If you have any doubts regarding, don't forget, just feel to ask in the comment section. I hope you understood the chapter. Thank you, and signing off, Augustine.